Welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, having a conversation with Randy Turner. He is the owner and operator of Direct Action Combat Performance. Randy, I want to talk a little bit more about the combat training that you're doing for the general public. And I know you mentioned that a little bit already, but what are the just walk us through what your customers are looking for. What are their main goals in hiring you to get this combat experience?
Sure. Commonly, what I get requested for is overall understanding of situational awareness and how to protect oneself if they're moving from point A to point B, from their house to the vehicle or the vehicle to run errands, and something should unfold in front of them. What to look for, how to react and respond according to the level of severity that may be presented with them. So I get everything from folks that are interested in overall conditioning to be able to handle themselves, and then everything from striking, blocking, clinch work, grappling, edge weapons, defenses, the full gamut of what's being what we see on the streets today.
Yeah, so let's get to that because this isn't just coming out of the blue with these people that are seeking you out. Have they themselves had some sort of violent experience, or is it they've seen something where friends or family have experienced it, or what generally is motivating them?
Sure. It's a little bit through their own personal experiences. Some of them have lived through experiences that they were not happy with the way they responded or performed to dealing with that situation. And some they just want to get better prepared. Maybe they had a friend or family member that lived through an experience, and based on what they shared with them, they want to get ahead of the curve and just be on top of things. So it's a mixture. Some is, through experiences that they personally endeavored, and some is they wanna avoid that situation if they can at all costs.
So, are you getting a sense from your clientele that they think, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but just please respond to this in your own words. Are they saying that the situation on Canada's streets or in Canada's cities is getting just more generally dangerous and more violent? Is that one of the motivating factors?
Yeah, the common sentiment that I receive is people see what's going on, they're, wide awake to the realities of what's happening on our streets. Downtown Ottawa, for an example, which, I live close by, is not as safe as it was maybe 10
Yeah.
years ago, and, people are aware of it, and, violent encounters are happening more and more frequently. A lot of the general public, citizens of Canada are percolating a little bit, they're feeling pressures from, just trying to make ends meet, and tempers are flaring, and people just want to be prepared. So if they have to deal with the situation, they're better suited to do so.
Yeah, very interesting. It's almost as if you are, in a sense, a canary in the coal mine, if I can use that term. Like the fact that people are coming to you, the fact that you've got a business model that's working, uh, it really is a kind of an indictment on the safety of Canada's streets. What do you say to
Yeah,
that?
there's like, yeah, I feel grateful to be able to provide this type of training. I'm passionate about it. I believe in it. That's why I formulated a business around it. I think in comparison, there are probably 10 or 15 or 100 people like me in the States. But what Canadians, when they reach out to me, they once they find out exactly what it is that I'm providing, they're almost relieved that there's the ability for them to train in this manner in Canada. Where some clients I've had, they've traveled to the States on several occasions to
Right.
receive this type of training. And I think our population is not quite comparable to the States, but I do feel that the realities of what street encounters are unveiling today in Canada is very comparable to what we see in the States on a regular basis.
Indeed, indeed. Um, so I'd love to get your assessment. We've talked about your clientele. You're a former military officer. So, what's your assessment of our combat readiness, availability of resources for our own CAF, our own troops?
Yeah, Our Canadian forces are definitely in a rut right now. I do feel it's going to get better, but right now we do not have a sustainable fighting force, in my opinion. The lack of resources, lack of funding towards the Canadian forces needs to improve. It needs to improve drastically and quickly. I think there's a lot of good men and women who are in uniform today that they believe in the purpose and the drive of what it is that they
Randy,
represent in
let's uh,
Canada.
let's let, let's come back to that. We're just going to take a brief break, but to hold that thought
Okay.
because it's an important one.